News Talk.
You're welcome back. We're reviewing the Sunday sports pages. So we have Olympian Gary O'Toole here in studio. We have Philip Quinn from the Irish Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday here.
Not an Olympian.
Not an Olympian, no. But there's one in the room, which is plenty for the three of us. So the headlines then. The Sunday Times have video games, VAR controversy. Can't stop West Brom from knocking Liverpool out of cup. They also have Chelsea ex-Barcelona boss Enrique to succeed Conte. That's in a few of the papers. And Michael Lester to step down as Sunday game host. He's been doing it since 1984. He plans to leave next February when he turns 65. He's a member of staff there in RTE as opposed to private contractors. So he's reaching 65, Michael Lester. And this is his last season at the helm of the Sunday game. Sun Sport have Bluey Louie. Again, it's ex-Barca coach Enrique will replace Antonio Conte. Roman Abramovich, according to the Sun, furious with Conte's persistent jibes about the club's lack of spending. The headline of the day, without doubt, comes in Star Sport. You like this, Philip. So it's about Declan Rice and the need to get Declan Rice in the team and to blood him, I suppose, from an Irish point of view. The headline is Rice blooding.
Rice blooding.
Like that? I think that's good. I thought that was good outside.
I thought it was something about rice and paddy fields, but no. Rice blooding. Okay, do I get that? Where I'm missing that? Come on, enlighten me, Joe.
As in we need to blood Declan Rice.
We do.
So rice blooding instead of rice pudding.
Of course, I'm getting there now. Sorry, a bit slow.
Are you alright?
I'm getting there now. I didn't get rice pudding.
We get Quinn or coffee.
I didn't get that one now. Rice pudding. No, I'm okay. Rice pudding. Rice pudding, okay.
This is Declan Rice very much in the frame for Martin O'Neill to call on fresh talent. The Observer have Kane relief. Late strike saves Spurs. That's Harry Kane. Mail on Sunday also have the VAR story. Varsical technology causes chaos at stunned Anfield. They call it on the back page of the Mail on Sunday the most chaotic match ever witnessed at Anfield, which is quite the statement. I know you were both watching. Sunday World have Bayern eyeing Klopp, Jurgen Klopp. Sunday Mirror Sport then have Eden to City. Guardiola will launch a stunning £150 million raid for Chelsea's Eden Hazard. He's their number one target, says the Sunday Mirror for summer. And Sunday Independent, finally, Fenton drives Dubs to victory in ominous second half surge, which we've already talked about on the show. Gary O'Toole, Liverpool fan, you were watching Anfield last night. The most chaotic match ever witnessed at Anfield?
Don't think so. Well, this is all new for soccer, and if you watch it through the prism of not being involved with video assisted refereeing, well, perhaps you would get very frustrated with what was going on last night, interrupting the play, but it's quite commonplace in rugby. Decisions overturned, decisions given. As I understand it, according to the commentary last night, the video assistant was 200 miles away, not in Anfield, which is different to the rugby video assistant because, and I feel it's safer for them to be 200 miles away, because I often feel that the video assistant or referee that's in the stadium can be influenced by the home crowd. I think soccer have got it right there, and it's the same in American football. The video assistant referee is removed from the stadium and they watch it elsewhere, but then the referee on the park can go over and look at it himself and overturn everything. But I was just disappointed in the result, quite apart from anything else. I didn't find it interrupted things. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was exciting, disappointing, and you know, someday soon, now hopefully this week, I'll get that shoe back out of the telly and get a new telly for the house. But yes, it's very unusual to find myself on a Saturday night watching soccer. It was strange.
Well, those games are coming. The Saturday evening Premier League games are in the corner. So, Philip, I think you were watching as well. Was it farcical? Like, they went a few times?
Yeah, I like the expression farcical. I think one newspaper had video games as a headline today. Yeah. I wasn't able to watch it live. I couldn't get the BT thing to work on my app to work, so I had to watch it on Match of the Day, which only was a condensed edited version. Okay. But I was following it sort of on the trackers or on my phone. The difficulty I have with it, and Match of the Day were able to sort of sub it up nice and tight and package it neatly last night, was the point I would think, and in fairness to the referee Pawson, the two calls he was asked to make on, he got them both right. They were relevant to the match. He wasn't sure whether a West Brom goal was it offside or not. He had a look at it. The VAR man 200 miles away confirmed that actually no, Gareth Barry was a fraction offside. So you got a correct decision there. Otherwise, a goal that was wrong would have stood. And the second was a penalty where Salah was pulled back. He had another look at it. The VAR man had another look at it, and they got that right. There was a penalty given. So the decisions that he actually wasted time on were relevant to the match, and I thought that's a plus point. But the difficulty I had was the delay. Just following it online on radio, there was 4 minutes of a gap of a delay. Now, Gary's right. Other sports are used to delays, rugby in particular, but football, and I'll call it football, you call it soccer. It's just the way I am. Bear with me on that one. I'm just old school on that one. Football has always been quick. It's always been, its big plus is action. It doesn't have pauses, lengthy pauses. It doesn't allow for itself to sort of go away into the ether for 4 or 5 minutes, which happened last night. And I think that's where football has a problem. If they're going to persist with the VAR, which has merit because the decisions last night were proven to be correct, it has to speed things up drastically, because otherwise it loses its very essence, which is pace. The Premier League is all about frenetic pace, passion and quickness and excitement, and there was no, and Liverpool, there was a silence last night at the ground last night, and they showed Liverpool fans, what's going on here? I think Alan Green made a reference, it's like being at a theatre but no one can see the show. We can't see what's going on the stage. We're all here, but there's nothing actually for us to watch. And football actually is all about what you can see, the live theatre. So they need to speed it up, and if they don't find a way of doing that, I think you could see it jettisoned. Yeah.
Or I wonder if they just would trust football fans enough to show the replays in the grounds.
That's the thing, and certainly it is made for TV. We could watch it at home as it was being replayed all the time by the video assistant referee, and you can make up your own mind. Of course, I tend to disagree all the time, but it's an inherent bias that comes into it, and you'll find that pretty soon, you'll be able to go onto some app and bet on the outcome of all these kind of things, and that's what they'll be trying to do with the supporters in the ground. I have no problem with it coming in. I take your point, but and maybe they need to go the way of the American football, and it has to be challenged. That Jurgen Klopp has to stick his hand in the air and say, "I challenge that," and that you get 2 or 3 challenges per game, and then that's it. And it has to be done within 30 seconds.
Take it out of the referee's hands.
Yeah. 30 seconds to do it, and then if it's not done in 30 seconds, you just keep on playing. Yeah, that's if you want your fast-playing, sport of soccer to continue in the way it is.
You see, look at it in what's happened in the last 10 years. We've had it was always a referee and 2 linesmen, and then suddenly you have a 4th official came in who does a reasonable job. But then you have these people behind the goal, not quite sure what they do, these extra linesmen, and now you have this VAR. What next? Will there be more officials at a game than there will be spectators? I'm not quite sure where football is going in this one. It needs to be careful. But maybe your suggestion is right, that challenges from the line. But they'll have somebody then, Liverpool or whoever it is, or whatever team will have somebody watching a monitor and saying, we think we might have a case here.
Yes.
And do they throw little orange towels on like they do in American football? I'm as I say, the alternative is if there wasn't any VAR, then what would happen is you would have the studio guys, or anybody post-match analysis, then picking holes in where the referee got it wrong. But they're doing it an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours later, and with the VAR coming into play, it's actually removing. They're actually now they're complaining about the VAR taking too long instead of complaining about the referee getting it wrong. I don't know what's going to happen, but at least the calls last night by the referee were right.
Exactly. I think the treatment is a bit over the top here, calling it chaotic and a farce and all this kind of stuff. I mean, ultimately the right decisions were reached. It might have taken 2 or 3 minutes too long, but give the thing a chance. It's been in operation for about 3 weeks, and there's people saying, "Oh, it's terrible." Ultimately, I mean, if the right decisions are being made,
but it is played on the screen at the rugby matches. And you see these players going up for a high ball, coming down, getting the legs taken out from underneath them, and the oohs and the ahs from the home supporters has to influence the referee. If it's a home team player that gets upended and lands on his head, well, then you can almost guarantee that it's going to be yellow. If you can influence the ref more, maybe it's going to be red. And if it's the home team player that has carried out the tackle, well, then the silence around the stadium, and that speaks even more volumes to the seriousness of the offence.
There's no big screen at Anfield.
No, there's not.
There's no provision for one either, apparently.
Is there not?
I heard that today.
I would have thought if we can put men on the moon, we could maybe squeeze a screen in there somewhere. Old Trafford, interestingly, doesn't have one either. I mean, I thought the reason they're not showing the replays is they don't want to incense the crowd. But I mean, this is slightly different. They ordinarily don't show controversial incidents at a stadium because they feel the crowd will go crazy. But if actually you're demonstrating to the crowd the right decision is being reached here, then it shouldn't result in the same level of madness. Like you're talking about mistaken identity, offside, some fairly black and white things, even the Gary O'Tooles of the world would accept. You know, he was offside, and
you're keeping the public informed.
You public are informed, but equally in the stadium,
engaged. Yeah, in the stadium, you're informed, and you're engaged, and you see what's going on.
Exactly.
I think what's going to happen here, that goal was going to be disallowed, or I think Salah was pulled down. That's going to be a penalty, and lo and behold, they got the decision right,
as opposed to a vacuum. If there's going to be 4-minute deliberations, then maybe I think involve the crowd. But look, we're in the TV age. All they care about is us sitting at home anyway.